We back in action, ready to rock and roll. We got your boy Broly at the helm. And you know what? I'm not a big fan of Super Battle Road. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I like it. It's a fun event. But it's so fucking tedious. It's so annoying. There's so much RNG involved. And honestly, I'm not going to lie. The last time I tried to play a Super Battle Road was the Realm of Gods team. I have no clue if they still have this glitch or not. But there was a glitch that if you kill someone on Super Battle Road, like say if all these guys are gone, only Chiaotzu's left, and I killed Chiaotzu in giant form as Beerus, like it was a giant form glitch. If you kill the last person in giant form, your game just has a heart attack. It goes into Genjutsu, and it will literally never let you out. Like you're just locked in like an asshole. And that drained my energy so much. Like my energy legit went to zero. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do it. Because, dude, Super Battle Road, first of all, here's the thing, right? Let's keep it real. Super Battle Road, it only comes around on the weekend. And on the weekend, I'm a busy man. I'm out here slanging dope. You hear me? And I'm out here busy. I'm busy as a bee on the weekend. And I don't fucking have the time to play Super Battle Road to begin with. And then sometimes, you want to relax, have a good time, sit down, play the game, and then to get zapped to that degree, what the fuck? What's wrong with you? But then Broly is just pretty much like when it comes to Super Battle Road, anytime there's a unit that I pull that actually is not a piece of garbage, or in this case where my TEQ extreme team isn't the best, it's alright, but it definitely did not have the power that it had before Broly. Really, I think Broly is the only reason I was able to beat this without pulling my hair out. Because I know in the past, for Super TEQ, my strategy was literally stun and damage reduce. And then for this one, it was more so of survive until Broly comes. Because Broly's a god, dude. Broly's ridiculous. Fucking, you get his active skill. I don't think I even ever got to... I don't know if I'm pretty sure I never got to the point where I can do a Dokkan Super because Broly was just out here working it, just fucking running a train on all these dudes. But in the past, yeah, I just did damage reduction with what do you call it? Damage reduction with sealing with stunning and basically just trying to get through it like that. By the way, shout out to your boy Masayan. He's definitely one of the better cards when they first came out, but as time has gone on, he has waned in power and rank. By the way, I thought it was dead here because I didn't know that Frieza had his passive. Thank God he had his passive. If he didn't, I'd be chopped fucking liver. Yeah, I think Mass Saint is really cool. I like him a lot, and I did take the dive, and I was like, you know what? He's putting in hella work. Usually when I have a unit that I'm not, like, he's not a Dokkan Fest exclusive, he's not a leader I use a lot, you know what I mean? Like, more niche players. They gotta earn that SA10. If they want me to use Kai's, they gotta earn it. So far, the two characters recently that I didn't really want to give him Kai's, but I ended up giving it to him, was Int Hit. That man puts in OD work. Whenever I have him, he's putting in work. So he earned the Kai's. And the same thing goes for Mass Saint. Now that he's pretty much the only person that links with Broly, I use him. And even in the past, like, his defense is actually pretty good. Like, he's a decent unit. It's just the fact that he has a flat attack buff. Thus, then, he's a piece of garbage. So, Easy A1. Hello, Easy A1. Speaking of Easy A, I saw that your boy TEQ SS3 Go Tanks Easy A came out, which is great. I'm really great. Happy to see that. But at the same time, in anticipation of Janemba coming out, I actually got that man to SA10 and put some dupes in him. And I'm just sitting here, I'm wondering, going, where's Janemba? I'd appreciate it if Janemba were to come through. How about that? How about that, Bandai, you pieces of garbage? But as you can see, it's a done deal. Like, I'm pretty sure when it comes to Broly, like, dude, I don't even think this Broly was 100%. Like, this dude almost always does an additional attack. And with the extra 40% attack boost in that turn, it's amazing. And it actually makes up for the fact that he doesn't have, like... Well, he has good links. Like, his links aren't terrible. But for an LR, like, optimal attack is if they get at least 24 key. Or not at least 24 key, at least 18 key. But, oh my god, dude, this Broly, like... Dude, after I played with the Broly, I was like, holy shit. Like, I was so tempted to just, steal some money from my parents or something and just try to, like, make it work. But I fought it. I did not give into it. So that's that. I was able to fight past my feelings of theft and larceny. And I didn't pull for Broly. I don't think I ever pulled for Broly. Maybe I did maybe I did a multi, but I didn't really spend a lot of stones. I'm kind of low key waiting for a amazing banner, a new amazing banner. Because honestly, I don't know what it is with Dokkan, but the most interesting banners as of late have been like out of the blue. No one knew they were coming banners. Like, for example, the Super Saiyan 4 banner for the 4th year anniversary on JP. I was saving for that. I had like 1,200 stones, and I'm like, yo, I'm saving for that. But then all of a sudden, your boy Super Saiyan Blue Go Giga come out of nowhere, and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hold up. Wait a minute. I want that card. So I ended up just going ham on that banner for JP and on Global a little bit. I got absolutely nothing of interest, which sucks. But that banner still was pretty exciting, and it was still pretty interesting. And I feel like the 4th year anniversary kind of wasn't as hype. I mean, hopefully with the 4th year anniversary, I don't remember when they introduced the badge mechanic, because I know in JP right now, for example, if you summon on certain banners, they'll give you those Shenron badges, and I think blue and red Shenron badges, which eventually you can use to get actually like good units, like Dokkan Fest. So it's kind of like similar to the if you ever play Naruto Blazing, the Granny Cat coins that you can use to sometimes get pretty good cards. Similar concept, similar scheme. So I guess that's something that's coming in the future. I'd be happy if it came with the 4th year anniversary. That way I could feel even better wasting all my stones on that banner. But as it is now, what are you going to do? Right now I'm saving a bunch of stones for what? I don't know exactly. That's the thing too. Like, I feel like if you do not summon on a full cycle, like if you go, for example, there's been like once or twice where between JP and Global where I have not summoned on anything for like at least 6 months, and then I just blew my load on like some banner, and then I didn't even get the featured card, and it just made me feel like, what was the point of that? And then you do a random multi on some other banner, or even random singles sometimes, but multis are, more at stake, and then you end up getting the featured unit, and you're like, why? Why did I save all those stones when 50 was all I needed? So that really is something to take into consideration. Why save your money when you could spend it now? That's another thing in life. That's something that, I got to get used to, because I'm always saving. I got to be more like my parents. I got to be like, yo, got the money, spend it now. I want it gone. I want them dead. I want that money dead. I want to look at my bank account and see nothing's in there. If you've never seen the original Untouchables with Robert De Niro and fucking Sean Connery and like a bunch of other old white people, that's a good movie, dude. That's a dumb good movie. But yeah, other than that, I've just been chilling. I've been enjoying myself playing some Pokemon, which is very easy for 2 reasons. One, Pokemon is a pretty fun game. I like it. Every once in a while I like to play it. Every couple of years I'll end up, at least if not playing the entire Pokemon game, I'll just check it out. Like Pokemon X and Y, I'll look at it. Even Black and White, I'll take a peek. Fire Red, I love Fire Red. I have not replayed Fire Red since like 2012, so I barely remember the game anyway. So it's like whatever. I get to re-experience it all over again. So I like Fire Red. But it's really easy to play just because of the fact there's like no games out. Like my PS4, legit, the last time I signed in and used it was probably sometime in February or March. And even then, it was just to play with friends, not even anything new. This is beyond dry. My PS4 is beyond dry. I mean, I played Sekiro, which was somewhat recent, but that was on PC. My PS4 is going to stay dry for a while now. It's going to sit there. It's going to relax. It's going to do absolutely, positively nothing. And come November, I'm sure the PS5 will be announced for $1 million, and I don't think I'm going to buy that either, because usually new game consoles, when they come out, they have a total of 0 games at launch, and then, they don't really have anything worthwhile for a minute. So, I don't know. I just feel like it's not worth it. In my humble opinion. I'm just saying, man. But, yeah, Pokemon's pretty cool. Although, I'll be honest, half the reason why I even, got sucked into playing Pokemon again. Obviously, there's no games. God forbid if they were to publish anything. But I saw the reveal for Pokemon Shield and Sword and Shield, and it looks pretty good, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Well, wait a second. Let me say this. I'm gonna talk like I just saw this yesterday. It looks pretty cool. The legendaries look badass. The sword Pokemon Wolf, the fucking what's his name, Sif from fucking Dark Souls, Knight Artorias' dog. He looks badass. The lion with the shield looks badass. And then another thing that looked really cool was the Dynamaxing, because I always looked at Pokemon, I said, you know what would be great? If this Charmander was about 50 feet tall. That's what I want. No, Dynamax, I looked at that. No offense, if you like Dynamax, fair enough, but I think it's retarded. I think it's really dumb. I don't know what the point of that was. Especially when replaced Mega Evolutions. Like, Mega Evolutions were literally just like cherry on the top. Like Pokemon that got their final evolution, it's like a new evolution, like a fake one, or at least get something. Like, come on, dude. When I saw Mega Charizard, like Y or X, it looked badass. That buff Mewtwo, dude, Mewtwo X, where Mewtwo comes out, where he's looking swole, and you're like, whoa, this is absolutely nuts. This is absolutely crazy, and it's absolutely cool. That was really cool. But then they completely replaced it now, and they just have Dynamax, which is like just larger Pokemon, which is fine, fair enough. I mean, they look cool and all, but shit. And as you can see here, I'm contemplating. I'm like, should I keep Broly? Should I get rid of Broly? I kind of don't want to get rid of Broly, but at the same time, like, I don't know. Like for me, this Boo, low-key's like the god tier character because he actually gets me HP back, so that's worth it. And he also stunts too, so he serves the double purpose. But yeah, so like I was saying, with the new Pokemon, the Pokemon look cool. Like, the starters look cool. The legendaries look cool. And I also think that the kind of like, I don't know what to call them. Like I don't know, I guess new Pokemon in general look kind of cool. Like, they had that fucking Garchomp, that retarded Garchomp looking guy who had like that really big mouth. He looked kind of cool. But the starters look cool. I don't know what their final evolution is going to look like. That could really make or break it, because I know for Pokemon X and Y, or not Pokemon X and Y, Pokemon Black and White, the starters were like, okay, like kind of okay. I personally didn't like them. My favorite one would probably, I don't know, dude. I hated those starters. I didn't like their final evolution. I didn't like fucking that fat pig guy. I ended up picking him. He was like the best option. I didn't like that the snake looked weird in the final evolution. Like, he could have looked more like a Abra or like a badass like Python or something like that. And he just ended up looking like a gay lizard, which was fucking weird. And then the water Pokemon like looked super cool. And then at the final stage, he just turns into a retarded samurai seal, and I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, he looks so stupid. Like, the game was alright, it was pretty fun, but I feel like they could have done it better with the designs on the final ones. But for, what do you call it, for Pokemon X and Y, I was about to pick Braxian. I think that's the final evolution one. The fire, she's like a fire fox type thing. She looked bad, dude. She looks so badass, right? And then the second evolution, she gets on 2 feet and it starts looking a little weird. Right? And then the final evolution was like a wizard, a fire wizard, like fucking, what am I watching? Fucking Harry Potter and the furry fucking vengeance? Like, what is this shit? I don't want to see this fucking weird wolf looking shit. So that looked weird to me. I didn't like that. I ended up picking Chestnut, which his final evolution was a little wonky. But then, dude, Greninja, he pulled it in for everyone. Greninja's fucking ridiculously cool looking. So, with that point being said, the new Pokemon, their first evolution looks pretty cool. Kind of like a rabbit, a retarded frog, a monkey, grass type, which I don't know what their evolution is going to look like. It could be cool. So it looks cool. I like it. It looks cool. The legendaries look cool. The starters look cool so far. Story, let's be honest. I mean, I pay attention to the story, but that can make a difference to me. But now, remember what I said. I said pretending this is as if the day I saw it. So, the day I saw it, the only negative I really thought of was Dynamaxing. Why the hell would you get rid of Mega Evolutions for Dynamax? That sounds retarded. By the way, let me just say, no one really cared about that. Like, at the time, like, day one. They're like, oh, Dynamaxing is kind of weird, have big Pokemon, but whatever, I'm still hyped. But then here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. There's some fucking salt involved with Game Freak and the developers of Pokemon, because right now, everyone on the internet are beyond salty that they are doing two things. One, they're getting rid of the national decks, right? So the national decks no longer exists. And two is no more Pokebank. Well, I guess that's part of it. No Pokebank and national deck. So this is how it works, right? All the Pokemon ever, you could have, if you wanted to, bring Pokemon from fucking Fire Red. If you caught them in Fire Red and kept transferring to new games, which you could have, you could bring them to, say, Pokemon X and Y. Like, people were playing fucking with teams from, like, a million years ago. But then, now with the new Pokemon game, they're like, listen, we can't have a national dex. We can't have all Pokemon in this game. Because we can't have all Pokemon in this game, if you want to transfer things from your Pokebank, you can only transfer Pokemon that are, like, fucking from this region, I guess. So, like, I apparently, I don't know if this is true or not. People have said this, but you can't, for example... You know, maybe, you know, for example, fan favorites like Charizard might not be in the game. He probably is, but you know what I mean? Like fucking Pokemon that you like and you know of and are popular, but because they're not from that region or some bullshit. Like, basically, the developers of the game did a shit job with the development, and they're like, oh shit, we can't port all these Pokemon because we're fucking, you know, undermanned and we don't want to spend any money. So, thus then, we're just going to say you can only pick these, you know, X amount of Pokemon. I can't think of... Like, let me think. Okay, Totodile, for example. Totodile's not in the new game. I know that for a fact because I've seen people complain about that. How the fuck are you not going to have Totodile, dude? Come on. He's a badass Pokemon. I mean, granted, sometimes in the old Pokemon, they weren't there. Like, for Totodile, for example. Like, you couldn't catch them, but you could transfer them, and you could technically breed them. So it's, like, weird that you can't bring these teams to the new Pokemon, and then that basically ruins, like, all the autistic people, because think about it, dude. There's people who have fucking, like, grown their Pokemon, right? Breeded them. I only bred, like, a handful of Pokemon, and it drained my energy. Like, it was so time-consuming. I would rather go out, get married, and have a kid. That'll be less time-consuming and have more reward. So, they did that fucking for years and years, and now they're being told that they can't bring that. That's... You don't fuck with people's autism like that. You do that, that's when you get a bomb fucking sent to your house. Because fucking Timmy from fucking Connecticut can't fucking transfer his Pokemon. So there's that. And then also, people have just been shitting on them. Now that they're salty about that, they're just openly shitting on them. They're like, Dynamaxing's retarded, which I'm happy about. Dynamaxing is retarded. Because Dynamaxing... If you look at it, like, dude, look at the Mega Evolutions. Charizard turns into a fucking dragon. Mewtwo turns into a fucking gym steroid junkie. And then you got, now, instead of that, oh, wow, the Pokemon's big. It's the same exact Pokemon. It looks exactly the same. But he ate a fucking Mario mushroom and became Bung. Like, what the fuck is the point of that? It's so stupid. And then another thing that people started shitting on them about, which I, again, love because it's hilarious, is, like, the programming practices of the development team where they just started shitting on them. They're like, look at this. These fucking idiots. They don't know OOP. They don't know this. Like, for example, someone said, I feel bad for this guy. This guy should have shut his fucking mouth. There's some guy on Reddit who basically was arguing and saying, hey, listen, I'm a graphic designer. Let me explain to you why it's impossible to have all the Pokemon in the new game. And he didn't know enough, honestly. But, you know, it's not like he was being an asshole. He was coming from, like, an okay place. And he was basically saying, listen, it takes 5 megabytes for each Pokemon, right? And if it takes 5 megabytes per Pokemon, imagine 1,000 Pokemon. That's a fucking billion memory units. You can't have that many Pokemon. And he was basically speaking out of his ass because, one, Pokemon don't take up that much space, and two, the developer, like the OG development team, fucking Iwata, that nigga's dead, but he somehow, like, had the foresight to say, listen, eventually we're going to run into memory issues, so let's just compress the images, which you can. There's, dude, basic encoding, you can fucking compress images, and you're not going to take up as much memory as just, you know, storing it plainly. So they have the tools. They're just either too lazy or too dumb or just fucking wouldn't give enough resources to the team to get that done. And again, that's another thing. Game Freak technically does make other games, and they're going into the Genjutsu where they're like, yeah, you know, we're working on fucking, you know, some other game that is a Pokemon. We're focusing on that, and then we're having the secondary development team working on Pokemon, which, dude, the only reason I know about Game Freak, the only other game I can think of that Game Freak was involved in that I know them for is like a fucking 3DS port of Metroid and then Pokemon. That's it. You are Pokemon, stupid. Stop trying to act like people were waiting for your fucking 2D RPG, nigga. No one cares. Shut your mouth. So that's another reason why people are really salty. And it does kind of shit on the parade because I was super hyped for Pokemon Sword and Shield. I thought it was gonna be I'm happy because it's like a new Pokemon. Because after Pokemon X and Y, they made Omega Ruby and Omega Sapphire, and I thought that was like, it's a remake that everyone wanted. But I just played Pokemon X and Y, and I was just kind of like, I don't want to play this right now. And I was like, I'll wait for the next one, and then I don't know what the fuck the next one. Oh yeah, the one after that was what? They focused on Pokemon Go, and then now they focus on Let's Go Pikachu Eevee, and then now when I'm finally interested, I'm like, oh, bring it on, baby! I'm ready for some new Pokemon. They basically went into Genjutsu and fucking pulled out like it's a good. It looks like a good game, but it could have been a great game, and it's like, it seems like they're just being greedy fucking sickos like most game companies. And just, pushing out the shit. And they're like, listen, it's Pokemon. These fucking nerds are going to buy it anyway. Which, low-key, they're right. Let's keep it a buck. EA puts out dog shit. And it took, a year for people to stop buying that game? I mean, I give credit where credit's due. People were eating EA's dog shit for a minute. But when Battlefront 2 came out, that shit went on sale for about $1.99 because people stopped buying it. So maybe the same thing will happen with Pokemon. But I feel like they haven't done enough to be, boycotted. So I guess it's more up to how well they deal with this. If I was Pokemon, I would just listen. If they're not gonna do the work, I would just be like, so sorry, we're so sorry, we didn't mean this. It's just too late now. Please understand. That's what they should do. They should fucking Iwata to, please understand. Please understand. They should have done that, and just fucking hit them with a please understand. And they might be good, they might not be good, but it would be better than what they're probably gonna do, which is either ignore it or say that it's not possible. Which it is possible. Anything's possible if you put enough time and effort and money into it. But I guess it's kind of one of those things that, I don't know. I mean, the game's coming out in November, right? So they could potentially delay it and make it better, or they could potentially put more men. Dude, honestly, they don't have enough people from what I've heard. And you need at least 2-month ramp-up time for new hires to, actually contribute and do something low-key. So, just because of that fact, think about it. Right now, it's what? June? Let's just say it's July. It's fucking the middle of June. July, August, September, October, November. That's 5 months. Take 2 away for ramp-up. 3 months. What are they going to do in 3 months? Honestly, keep it a buck. They could do a lot in 3 months if and only if they get enough people, and if and only if the data's organized in a way. But from what I heard, people have just been shitting on the developers, dude. They've just been opening their fucking pants and shitting on their faces. They're like, yeah, Game Freak's retarded. And then someone posted something from Black and White that apparently they didn't have any OO principles in terms of objects, where they're for example, in programming, you would have one object and then just inherit it in 10 places. But, for example, one thing they did that was really dumb is that they had, say, 10 locations with a lily. And they had lily here, lily there. And they would literally have in each place their own lily, their own textures, their own files, their own everything. And it was literally 10 duplications of the same object when they could have just fucking inherited that shit. Or at the very least just, imported that object. So people have just been shitting all over Game Freak. They're they're fucking idiots, fuck them, they're pieces of shit. I kind of half agree, because the thing is, though, the Pokebank shit, I play Pokemon, I like Pokemon, but I ain't that autistic. But if I was, and by the way, you have to pay for Pokebank, so these motherfuckers have been paying for Pokebank, and they're getting fucked out of that. That's crazy. But really, I don't know what to say, other than, at the end of the day, I'm still probably going to play Pokemon fucking Sword. I still kind of like it. I like the idea of it. It seems cool. But I definitely understand why people are salty. And even when I saw Dynamaxing, I'm like, that shit looks legit retarded. But at the end of the day, all I can say is that I still have Pokemon Fire Red. And I am doing a playthrough on that. I uploaded that video yesterday. Link in the description for the playthrough. And that's about it.